The support package to assist businesses affected by the fallout from Covid-19 has been expanded significantly, removing the cap for wage subsidies altogether. The scheme announced last week had a $150,000 cap, which meant only businesses with fewer than 22 employees were covered. The cost will now go from $5 billion to $9.3 billion as a result. There is also work going on with the banking sector to ease the financial pressure of rent and mortgage payments. And Finance Minister Grant Robertson says there will be further measures to support New Zealanders financially. Andrew McRae has been monitoring business reaction.
The local share market has slumped to its lowest point in nearly 2 years, and the New Zealand dollar is sharply weaker as authorities step up measures to counter the effects of the Covid-19 virus. Every stock on the top 50 index has fallen, with tourism, travel and hospitality businesses showing some of the biggest drops. The Reserve Bank moved earlier today to buy back up to $30 billion worth of government bonds to further boost the economy. Chief Economist at the ANZ, Sharon Zollner, says the scale of it was a surprise.
We were thinking 15 to 20 or maybe a bit more, so it's definitely at the upper end of what anyone was expecting.
The bond buyback effectively puts money into the economy. Sharon Zollner says the return on investments in bonds has been increasing over the last few weeks. She says now the Reserve Bank will absorb the extra bonds, things are changing.
We've actually seen the 10-year yield drop 0.5%. And the dollar dropped as well, which is also a really useful easing of monetary conditions. So essentially, bond yields should be falling because the Reserve Bank has cut the official cash rate as low as they can. But it's just the fact that the governments are needing to borrow so much. That's why you need this coordination between monetary and fiscal policies.
The extension of wage subsidies has pleased the CEO of Business New Zealand, Kirk Hope, who was pushing for them to be extended.
So there's really three parameters to it. So there's supporting people's incomes, enabling the businesses to continue to be alive while dormant, because again, there will be demand after we get through what is a pretty significant health and economic shock.
But he has a stark prediction of upcoming job losses.
Well, between 60 and 100,000. And the reason, so one of the things that has been challenging with this virus is that some industries have been impacted actually for quite a considerable time.
He cites the tourism industry as the one that started to feel the effects of a decline in visitors back in January. But there was further pain in that sector today. Flight Centre has made 250 of its staff redundant and closed over 30 shops. Its managing director, David Coombs, says international travel is their core business, so they were forced to take immediate and drastic action.
We've done everything we can to hold this off, and we've been eagerly waiting to hear from the government what they will be able to do to assist big business, but at the moment there isn't anything out there to assist.
David Coombs says he intends to keep Flight Centre running so they can re-employ staff when travel restrictions lift. Michael Barnett from the Auckland Chamber of Commerce suggests the wage subsidy will be better provided directly to the worker, bypassing the business.
The government can also be looking at taxes, so provisional tax for business, based on future income, not on past. That's going to offer some relief for them. Business owner mortgages, that's not necessarily a government issue. It's going to be an issue for banks, so that's a good communication.
Michael Barnett says the big issue for all businesses is diminishing income. For Checkpoint, Andrew McRae.